Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is Sarah van Grinnen, aka Mr. VG, and we are now deep, like in neck deep, into solving equations algebraically. Especially, ladies and gentlemen, when we get to sums like these ones, where we really have got no guess or an easy guess. So we can't just use our normal inspection, our guess, to get left-hand side equal to right-hand side. But what I'm still going to do is I'm going to take a guess. I'm going to guess that my answer mustn't be 0, but must be close to 0. Because if I substitute 0 into that bracket, I'm going to be left with 3 times by 1, which is 3. So it's close to 2. It's not going to be exactly 0, but it's going to be close. Remember, our goal is to isolate x, or not x, a, I mean. So to get a alone. But before I can do that, ladies and gentlemen, I need to get rid of my brackets. So I'm going to apply some algebra to this by distributing in that 3 into my brackets. So to get rid of that brackets, I'm sitting now with 6a plus 3 equal to 2. At this moment of time, you've got to now start thinking, okay, how did we do it previously? Well, I subtracted 3 on both sides because that's the inverse operation of plus 3. And that leaves me with 6a, which is equal to negative 1. If I divide both sides by 6, I am going to get a to be negative 1 over 6. And there, ladies and gentlemen, you have solved for a. How did my guess do? Well, sure, negative 1/6 is very close to 0. So therefore, I've got a very sneaky suspicion that my answer is right. Now, I'm not going to check it, but you can go and check it yourself. You've got a calculator, go for it. Let's look at, can you solve this one on your own? If I look at this, ladies and gentlemen, this is where the waters become a bit murky about what must I do, where must I go. So I'm going to first of all distribute the 2 and the 3 into the brackets to see what I've got to do. So I'm going to distribute that 2 in first. So I'm left with 2 minus 2b. On the right, I'm going to distribute the 3 in, which leaves me with 6b plus 3. Now, this is a normal, what we call linear equation because there's b's. There's no b squareds or funny b's. So I'm going to set my goal as trying to isolate b, which means I'm going to get b alone. I'm going to choose the right-hand side because of that negative 2b. So I'm going to add 2b on both sides, and I'm going to subtract 3. So let me just go back there. I'm going to add 2b on both sides, and then I'm going to subtract 3 on both sides, and this leaves me with the following sum. 2 minus 3 equal to 6b plus 2b. On the left-hand side, I've got negative 4. On the right-hand side, I've got 8b. And therefore, I'm going to divide both sides by 8, and that gives me that. Now, some of you, and I'm going to do this purely to satisfy the masses, are wanting to rather say, okay, so, can't we look at transposing? And again, I'm not doing this because I believe in transposing at all, but simply because I know most teachers are going to teach it this way. So that negative 2b, if I transpose it, if I move it to the right-hand side, is going to give me plus 2b. And if I move that 3 to the left-hand side, I'm going to sit there with 2 minus 3, which is on the left, and that becomes then minus 3, which is exactly, ladies and gentlemen, with what we are seated there. So on the left, I'm going to sit with negative 4 equal to, why did I say 8b? Oh my hat! You see what happens when you're in a hurry? That must actually be 6b. Okay, not 8. Okay, so that is then 8b on the right-hand side, which gives me exactly the same answer as there. So my humble apologies for messing up that 8b there, for making that 8b instead of 6b. You see, that happens when you are not focusing. But fortunately, I saw it because I did it the long way. Question? Do you get it? I hope you get it. If you don't get it, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to practice, practice, practice. So this is Mr. VG signing out. In our next video, we are going to have a look at how do I handle fractions inside of equations. So keep well. Cheers.